Okay, we are back at it. I'm preempting that the last video may have confused you a little bit due to its, basically not existing structure and just me working around and doing stuff. So let me quickly summarize what I've done and what I'm about to do next. So this Scirocco R you can see here was sold to me a few weeks ago with a allegedly complete engine failure. However, in the last video I managed to seek out that the engine wasn't in a bad state at all, because when I looked in the cylinders I couldn't spot any damage or even anything conspicuous. And also the compression was spot on. It seems like the only problems that this car has are the misfires, which have to be caused from an attachment part. In the last video I managed to exclude a spark fault by swapping over coil packs and spark plugs, but when checking the fuel supply of each cylinder I could see that injector number 2 was a bit weaker than the other ones, and now I decided to strip down the intake manifold to replace the injector with a new one, or to possibly find the problem along the way. Okay, so let's get started to strip this thing down. Somehow I have the feeling that this will either be a 1 hour job or a whole afternoon job, but yeah, we'll see. Also, the new battery for the Scirocco just arrived, which I'm very thankful for because, in the past I had to rip out the battery from my all-rod every time I needed to crank the engine on this car. I'm now going to start to strip all this wiring and hosing stuff off to basically undo the intake manifold, and I already have the precaution that my two biggest enemies will be the fuel lines, the one on top of the intake and the one underneath, because I have no clue on how to remove them without breaking anything. Actually, the intake removal went pretty straightforward, apart from a completely brittle PCV hose and a weak hose clamp. I won't comment on that. I will just, let it speak for itself. But in the end I got stuck. The problem was that I couldn't manage to remove the bracket which was supporting the intake manifold from underneath. And because the bolt was completely obstructed with fuel hoses, plugs and brackets, I ended up chiseling the rubber connection apart to finally remove the whole assembly. Okay, so this right here is our intake manifold, and after looking at it I couldn't find any major damage apart from the leftovers from the bracket that I just chiseled apart. Yeah, also the flaps are working all perfectly fine. This right here is our cylinder number 2, and this is the injector that I will replace. Yeah, I guess I will just put it back together and see if it fixed itself. I think I might actually clean up the intake valves from any possible carbon deposit, but as the compression was pretty perfect, I don't think that was the issue. If this engine would run after I put it back together, it would be a bit, it would be a bit disappointing because I haven't found a single broken piece with some visual damage, and I will never know what was the actual problem with it. The next thing I did is I cleaned the intake valves from cylinder number 2. As you can see, they're definitely not perfect, but they're 100 times better than they were before. And this is what they looked before, roughly what they looked before. So pretty filthy. And I don't think this was the problem with this engine because the compression was all the way up. But okay, it took me ages, but I think I have everything back together where it should be. Replaced injector on cylinder number 2. I cleaned the intake valves on cylinder number 2. And I also replaced the PCV system because the old one had the consistency of cornflakes and was basically unusable. I guess it was the first one anyway. Please let the engine run. Oh, I don't want to do this again. Okay, this is it. Moment of truth. Oh wait, let me open the door. Okay, but now. Woo! I'm nervous. Please. Please run smoothly, please. Oh, she doesn't run at all. Okay. Oh no, I've heard a misfire. No! Ah, she's still misfiring. Oh, fuck my life. Okay, first minute. No misfire. Fingers crossed, please. Okay, it's interesting because our major cylinder 2 fault is fixed, but now cylinder 3 and 4 are misfiring. But not quite as heavily as in the beginning, so I don't know, maybe that's just because the engine was teared apart and the fuel system is just has problems, because now all 4 cylinders are misfiring. I don't know if it could be from fuel or anything else. Oh, now cylinder 4 is misfiring heavily. Could someone please explain me what's going on here? Okay, I've realized the engine is only misfiring when idling, because when you use the throttle to rev up the RPM to, I don't know, 1000 or 2000 RPM, there's no misfires at all. It just died. Okay, interesting. Okay, seems like we have 2 new fault codes. Let me see if I forget to plug something in. Okay, to sum it up, cylinder number 2 has definitely compression, 10 bars. Cylinder number 2 has no visual damage to the piston, to the valves, to the bore, to everything. The inlet manifold isn't damaged on the section from cylinder number 2. No tears or anything else in the inlet manifold. I've swapped the injector to a new one and nothing happened. I've swapped coil packs and spark plugs and everything else. Nothing happened. I also checked I also checked the timing, because I couldn't believe that there isn't a problem, and the timing is good as well. And none of the other cylinders is making a problem, so okay, this is a tricky one. Okay, I guess I will leave it like this, and yeah, I think I will try to drive it in the next video to see if there maybe just needs a proper warm up and drive. I don't know. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video, where I hopefully at least be able to find the actual problem. Shit.